Hello students, my name is Mr. Thomas Pleyo, and I will be covering a topic that means a lot to me personally, the Congressional Medal of Honor. This is the highest military award that any service member can receive, and it is awarded only to those service members who show conspicuous gallantry and bravery on the battlefield, with no regards to their own safety. There are only a handful of men who have achieved such feats on the battlefield, including a personal friend of mine, Staff Sergeant Romisha, whose citation I'm going to read parts of. Staff Sergeant Clinton L. Romisha distinguished himself by acts of gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his own life above and beyond the call of duty while serving as a section leader with Bravo Troop 361 Cav, 4th Infantry Division, at Combat Outpost Keating, Kamdesh District, Nuristan Province, Afghanistan. On October 3, 2009, Staff Sergeant Romisha and his comrades awoken to an attack by an estimated 300 enemy fighters occupying the high ground on all four sides of his complex, employing concentrated fire from recoilless rockets, RPGs, and anti-aircraft machine guns, mortars, and small arms. Staff Sergeant Romisha moved uncovered under intense enemy fire to conduct a reconnaissance of the battlefield and to seek reinforcements from the barracks before returning to action with the support of an assistant gunner. Staff Sergeant Romisha took out an enemy machine gun team, and while engaging a second, was wounded by an RPG striking the generator he was using for cover. Undeterred by his injuries, the staff sergeant continued to fight, and upon arrival of another soldier to aid him and his assistant gunner, he rushed again through the exposed avenue to assemble more soldiers. Staff Sergeant Romisha, with complete disregard for his own safety, continuously exposed himself to heavy enemy fire as he moved confidently about the battlefield, engaging and destroying multiple enemy targets, including 3 Taliban fighters who had breached the combat outpost perimeter. While orchestrating a successful plan to secure and reinforce key points on the battlefield, Staff Sergeant Romisha maintained radio comms with the Tactical Operations Center as the enemy forces attacked with even greater ferocity, unleashing a barrage of RPGs and recoilless rifle rounds. The staff sergeant identified the point of attack and directed air support to destroy over 30 enemy fighters, and after receiving reports of seriously injured soldiers at a distant battle position, the staff sergeant and his team provided covering fire to allow the injured soldiers to safely reach the aid station. Staff Sergeant Romisha's heroic actions throughout the day-long battle were critical in suppressing an enemy that had far greater numbers. His extraordinary efforts gave Bravo Troop the opportunity to regroup, reorganize, and prepare for the counterattack that allowed the troop to account for its personnel and secure the combat outpost. Staff Sergeant Romisha's discipline and extraordinary heroism above and beyond the call of duty reflect great credit upon himself, Bravo Troop 361 Cav, 4th Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division, and the United States.
But to understand why this medal holds such a prestigious position among the military and the American people, we must first learn about its history. The Congressional Medal of Honor was established in 1862 by the Congress. There have been many similar medals and accolades for gallantry before, but such as the first one, the Badge of Military Merit. However, with the establishment of the Congressional Medal of Honor, there is now a way to properly award service members for conspicuous acts of bravery on the battlefield. The medal was made a permanent award in 1863, and since 1863, over 3,465 service members have been awarded this medal. The President of the United States, since 1863, has personally awarded each service member with the medal. I'll begin with the most recognizable recipient of this award, Audie Murphy, who single-handedly defeated over 200 German soldiers while his company retreated to a safe area. Murphy, after running out of ammo in his carbine, jumped on top of a burning tank destroyer and used his M2 machine gun to break the German attack while being exposed to withering fire. He was severely wounded during the battle. He wandered his way back to the front of the line where he was treated for his wounds. He's the most decorated soldier during World War II and has become a legend within the Army. Vernon Baker was another recipient of the Medal for actions during World War II. He was the first African-American soldier to be awarded the medal. He was presented with the medal nearly 50 years after the end of the war due to segregation. He was one of 7, though he was the only surviving recipient. During World War II, his battalion was charged with taking a mountainous stronghold while running through withering machine gun fire and artillery. He and his squad managed to destroy 2 machine gun nests and a number of outposts. They also severed a number of communication lines during their withdrawal. He left his cover to draw enemy fire, while the rest of his company made their way to safety. Alvin York was a true hero. He received his Medal of Honor during World War I. York was the most decorated soldier during World War I for his actions during the Argonne Offensive in 1918. He and his men went over the top of the trenches and started their assault on German lines. It was here that York led an attack on a German machine gun nest, which quickly turned into over 30 nests taken, the killing of 30 enemy soldiers, and the capture of 132. His squad of 7 men had single-handedly taken over 100 prisoners. Roy Benavidez fought during the Vietnam War and was awarded his Medal of Honors for actions on May 1968. He was part of a 12-man recon team who inserted to assist with a rescue operation for fellow soldiers who were pinned down. During his run to his comrades, he suffered multiple injuries. Despite his terrible injuries and the withering enemy fire, he lifted each man and ran across the open field to load the wounded into medevac choppers. However, whenever the chopper took off, the pilot was mortally wounded. So Benavidez ran back, collected the wounded men, and set up a tight perimeter, while motivating his wounded men to fight and live. It was not until after everyone was medevaced out and all the classified materials were destroyed that he would allow a medic even near him. Clinton Romisha was awarded his Medal of Honor for his actions at Kop Keating, Afghanistan. This man is a personal friend of mine, and I know several of the soldiers who lived throughout this day. It was a cold morning in the valley when out of nowhere, over 300 Taliban fighters with mortars, RPGs, and machine guns started to attack the outpost from all sides. Romisha quickly assembled a fire team and started to fight back. By now the Taliban were inside the compound. After shooting several of them, he moved his way to a truck and got the gunner to orient his fire, while he and his small team moved outside the compound to secure the bodies of their brothers, after which he got on the radio and started calling in every available support aircraft to help. So next time you think or hear the word hero, please remember that the word only applies to a brave few who, without any thought of their own lives, put themselves in harm's way to save their fellow Americans. Not a football player or a movie star, but those rough men who stand ready to do violence on your behalf. These are the true American heroes, and their actions on the battlefield and off deserve to be recognized, and that is why the Medal of Honor exists.